If you got honestly, I mean, I know that we're still in our infancy in the RDR Boomers category, Rough Draft Research affiliate. But if you guys, if you're watching some college ball and you got something to say about these guys, hit us up in the comments. We're always looking for extra eyes in the college world. There's so much going on. So let's start a conversation. We can have a little back and forth if you're into that. Welcome back. We got another episode of the Boxscore Boomers. I don't know about you, but I caught a little bit of football on Saturday, and it was pretty baller. I say baller, but what I mean was it was very entertaining and some good stuff went down. Honestly, I didn't see Alabama taking an L there, and then that Penn State game was pretty incredible, and I watched a little bit of that USC game just because, we'll get to them in the boomer action. But let's start off like we always do in the running back department. Finally, Kennedy Brooks, man. This is Oklahoma running back. He's a junior, 5'11", 215. He put up 217 yards and 2 touchdowns on 5 carries, and they were up against Texas. This is another really, really good game. But it's not a new name, right? Kennedy Brooks, we expect big things from him. And this is his first appearance on the Boxscore Boomers. So this is the first time, actually, that he's had over 100 yards this year. And that's kind of crazy because we expect a little more than that. He's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. And it doesn't even have Rhamir Stevenson on his team anymore, so maybe he's just heating up, and that's cool with me. Kennedy Brooks is obviously someone we're looking for in the NFL draft next year. I just want him to put a little gas on the fire. So moving on, if you want to talk about gas on the fire, we got this Kenneth Walker III at Michigan State. He is leading all of college football in rushing yards, and it's because of games like this. So he puts up 233 yards and a touchdown against Rutgers on 29 carries. And I know I've touched on him in pretty much half of our box score boomers because that's how you end up leading college football in rushing. But he is a junior. He's 5'10", and he's 210. So moving on to the tier jerker. I don't like to talk too much about Tyler Badie. He's up there, Mizzou. I was a Larry Roundtree guy, and then, he comes in and he's like, Larry Round what? I'm going to the Chargers next year, so heat up my number for me, 34, 35. I'm taking all your old numbers, Mr. Roundtree. But this is a small guy. He's 5'8", 194, but he did put up 209 yards against North Texas, the powerhouse. So look out for him in the future. If you want to talk about futures, Jerome Ford out of Cincinnati. He's a junior, 5'11", 220, so that's good size. Up against Temple, he had 15 carries for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns, so that's pretty solid. This is a game that ended 52-3, so I guess he probably had a little more action than you normally would, but that's still a 10-yard per rush, so that's incredible. And you don't want to just look at the score and think, a blowout, running game, whatever. Well, actually, Jerome's had, this is his 3rd game over 100 yards this year. So he's pretty much a real deal. Spend a little time thinking about him in your future. And if we want to talk about futures, Brian Robinson out of Alabama, senior, he has been waiting on the future for a long time. He's been a long line of Alabama running backs just balling out, most notably Najee Harris. So it's good to see him get the opportunity. Like I said, this was a great game against Texas A&M, and he went ahead and put up 147 yards. No score. Maybe that would have got them the game if he had been able to get in the end zone. But he's a senior, 6'1", 225. That's great size, pretty big. But yeah, got to do what you got to do. It's good to know that he also had 4 catches for 60 yards in this game. So that's a 210-ish all-purpose yards. So we'll do what you do. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and touch one more running back. I know this is getting long, but Rhamir Johnson out of Nebraska is a freshman. I don't really like to talk about freshmen too much, but only 67 rushing yards up against Michigan. But I have to mention that he had 6 catches for 105 yards and a touchdown. So I won't mention his size or nothing because he's got a couple more years, and this is just one pop-off game. But I'm moving to the wide receiver room right now, and there's a freshman we do have to talk about, and that is Xavier Worthy out of Texas, man. This guy had an insane game against Oklahoma. So as mentioned, he is a freshman, 6'1", 160. So hopefully he got that dorm room food pass, put on the freshman 15 at the very least. But he definitely put up some yardage, 6 catches for 261 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good against Oklahoma. So that's good for him, ready to roll. But you know what I mean. We're talking about some yardage leaders this week, and Calvin Austin, the third out of Memphis, is a senior. He is small as well, 5'9", 162, but he put up 200 and a touchdown against Tulsa. And every game has been 100-plus yards. And now he has 200 or more yard games. And in 2020, he had 1,000 receiving yards in 10 games. So, averaging 100-plus over 2 seasons is pretty solid stuff, even if you're a little guy. And we all know Memphis has been producing NFL caliber wide receivers like my boy Anthony Miller for a long time. So look out. Another thorn in the side. I hope the Bears don't draft him, No, I'm just joking. Do what you do, Bears. But moving on to Baylor, they got another senior. His name is Tyquan Thornton. And up against West Virginia, it was 8 catches for 167 and 2 touchdowns. Now, this guy's a senior. He's big, 6'3". Oh, wait, he's not big. 182. What's with those skinny dudes, man? You got to put on some meat. We got some bigger guys coming up. But when you're 6'3", you got to weigh more than 182. That's crazy. Anyway, let's get in a thick man here. Drake London. Now, this is my dude right here. He is a solid-ass motherfucker. I've been watching for a couple of years. You know what I mean? Trying to peep that USC game on a couple of other guys, Michael Pittman. You got your Amon-Ra St. Brown's. So it's good to see that the heir apparent, the junior out of USC, 6'5", 210, is still just doing badass things. He had 162 yards and a touchdown against Utah. That's not typically enough to hit the boomer sheet, but if you're looking at number 2 in all of college football, and you're playing in a big time schedule, in the Pac-12, pretty good. Power 5, gotta give them some mentions. Woo! But back east here in the Big Ten, we got Michigan State's Jalen Nailor. He is a junior, 6 foot, 190, a little better size there. 5 catches for 221 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Jesus.
So that was up against Rutgers, and Rutgers kind of giving away some good scoring opportunities for the opposing teams. But I thought that was pretty impressive, man. That's 44-yard average. That's you can't do that every Saturday. But yeah, one more wide receiver. This list is getting long, everybody. I hope you're still with me. This is Jameson Williams. He's an Alabama junior, 6'2", 189. He had 10 catches for 146 and 2 touchdowns up against that A&M game. I just mentioned him because this is a big school, Bama. A lot of turnover after couple Heisman Trophy candidates last year. So it's good to see that there's still prolific contributors on this team, even though they did lose a game. So that's, you can't win them all, as they say. Anyway, I've been trying to get a tight end in every week, and we got one for you. Isaiah Lively out of Coastal Carolina. He's a senior, 6'4", 240. This guy went crazy and had 8 catches for 232 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think that's insane. But it was up against Arkansas State, so I don't know. They've been kind of giving up some big games too. But he's heating up. This is a career game for him, but he's averaged 19 yards per catch this year, and he had 20 yards per catch. Last year, I believe it was like 38 catches, something like that. It wasn't anything extreme. But, you got to keep an eye on. Coastal Carolina's undefeated team, I believe.
I'm looking at their schedule right now. They're undefeated and averaging a good amount of points.
There you go. Yeah, I know they beat KU in their week 2, right?
Yeah, KU 38-20. They scored 38 points. Then the next week 43, then 52. Oh wait, this is all fucked. Okay, no. 52, 49, 28, 53, 59, 52. Mm-hmm. Beating up on Jonathan Adams' old team.
I know, man. Don't even with that Jonathan Adams shit. He would have been on this Boomers list last year for sure. But let's move into the quarterback category here. I think that I'll start off with Garrett Shrader. He had a great game, threw for, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's booming, that box score. Oh, no, wait, what's this? Garrett is running his ass off, and he put up 178 rushing yards and a touchdown on 29 carries. And last week, he put up 137 yards for 3 touchdowns on 16 carries. This guy is just going crazy. He's not really balling out too hard in the air game, but this is up against Wake Forest, and he's running his ass off. He doesn't have a huge track record of this. He's only a sophomore. He's got a gnarly beard, but we'll see what happens. He plays for Syacuse, and we'll just keep an eye on him. If he keeps running around like this, it might be something you have to pay attention to. But speaking of paying attention to, I know that Brennan Armstrong is the guy that we've talked about. He is crushing it. I'm pretty sure he's leading the entire college football in passing yards. And I assume he's going to get some attention next year's draft, being that he's a senior. He's 6'2", 215. And up against Louisville, he had 487 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's Jameson Winston numbers. So you got to look out for a guy like that. Not to saying he's going to Heisman out or anything, but you never know. Actually, you never know. But all right, last guy. Thanks for sticking with me. This is Bailey Zappe, and I'm probably saying that wrong. Western Kentucky senior, 6'1", 220. This dude threw for 525 yards and 5 touchdowns, and only 1 pick, and that was up against Texas San Antonio, and that we know that's a storied team that is probably going to rival Alabama for the college football championship. So look out for that Texas San Antonio team. No, I'm just joking. But he's second in yards and touchdowns in all of college football. But he only has 3 picks versus 21 touchdowns. So this guy he's the real deal. Western Kentucky's not the biggest school, but they have had some successful guys at the second level. I'm trying to think of a couple, and I know for sure that wasn't Deontay Johnson out of Western Kentucky. Now I'm breaking my own heart. Thanks for joining us, guys, as I crash and burn here in the Boxscore Boomers realm. Having a lot of fun watching more college ball than I usually do, and I'm definitely having a great time telling you guys about it. I try to sharpen it up every week, and by the end of this, we might be able to cut the mustard. I don't know what the hell that means. But Western,
Cut the mustard, try and catch up.
there you go. I don't know. I'm probably thinking of the wrong team.
Let's see. I tried to look up Western Kentucky. You said Western Kentucky, right?
Mm-hmm. Tyler Higbee.
He's Toledo, bro.
Oh, Toledo. Yeah.
Toledo
right.
Tomato.
Tyquan Taylor.
Hey, you know what? I was looking up Xavier Worthy. Apparently, he committed to Michigan.
Oh, really?
And then in April of last year, he, for reasons beyond his control, they released his letter of intent, and then he went to Texas.
Huh. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Where did Antonio Brown go to college?
Western Michigan.
Western Michigan. That's where. Yeah. That's my bad. That's my bad. Who just came out of Western Michigan this last year? I thought we were excited about somebody.
I think you're thinking, or no, he was Central Michigan.
Who the hell am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Dwayne Estridge.
Okay.
Who came out of Western Michigan, but Antonio Brown was Central Michigan, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, this has been a downward spiral. All the way, yeah. Dwayne Eskridge. Yeah, Corey Davis. Corey Davis was the other Western Michigan guy. Yep.
With Dwayne Eskridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm getting.
Kalamazoo, man. It's a fun college.
And Jordan White. So, Kalamazoo. Greg Jennings. This is not a bad list. But anyway, that's it, man. That's Boxscore Boomers. As I said, we come out, we kick the door in, we have a good time, and then we say some stuff wrong and Google it in front of you. So honestly, I mean, I know that we're still in our infancy in the RDR Boomers category, Rough Draft Research affiliate. But if you guys, if you're watching some college ball and you got something to say about these guys, hit us up in the comments. We're always looking for extra eyes in the college world. There's so much going on. So let's start a conversation. We can have a little back and forth if you're into that. But as always, thanks for spending a little time with us, and we'll catch you on the flip side.